Hello, hello. It is Sunday and we are halfway in between the new moon we just had a week ago and the full moon lunar eclipse that's coming up in a week. I'm Erin, I'm QueenBeeTarot. It is Sunday. I do have detailed horoscopes for all 12 zodiac signs on my YouTube channel. They are from 1 week ago, but they still apply and there's so much to tell you about. Today is a really spicy day to continue the spicy day we had yesterday because the moon is in Scorpio. And so there is a lot of really deep, really intense feelings, life, death, rebirth, karma, crisis, trauma, all the things, all the things. And if you can just keep in mind that you, yourself, and everybody around you is going to be feeling really raw, really vulnerable, experiencing some really deep thoughts that go way beyond the present moment. Give yourself a chance to just kind of reflect, observe, but don't absorb. There's going to be a tendency to react. And one of the big reasons for that is because the sun in Virgo right now is creating a direct opposition to Saturn in Pisces. Now, Saturn in Pisces brings a really heavy kind of sense of our own mortality. It's the realization that we won't be here forever. And sometimes that gives us a sense of peace. Sometimes that brings a sense of panic. And if for any reason you are experiencing some panic, I do recommend just doing some deep breathing exercises. If you haven't heard of it before, it's called the 4 square breath. You breathe in for the count of 4, hold for the count of 4, out for the count of 4, and then hold for the count of 4. Just a really quick way to pull yourself out of a panic attack. I can tell you it works. So any ways in which maybe that your minds are playing tricks on you, your hearts feel overwhelmed, or you feel really stuck within your own life, today's going to be a day of big feelings. So please be gentle with yourself. And if you can avoid it, avoid maybe getting around people that you know might take their feelings out on you. That is a big risk today. Now, Mercury, the planet that represents what we think and what we say, is forming a very challenging angle with Neptune, the planet of ideals, which means that there's a very high likelihood of any of the words that we use to describe our feelings right now, they might burn, they might cut like a knife, they might cause the opposite effect of what we intended, because there's going to be so much emotion that we're not going to be aligning our words, our thoughts, and our intentions with our ideals. There's just going to be too many layers of too much pain, resentment, frustration, whatever it is that you're going through. Now, the other thing, though, is that for once, the moon is cooperating with Saturn, which is an indication that maybe taking some space alone is going to be the best way for you to collect your thoughts and get clear on a constructive path of action. When the sun is in Virgo, represented by the Hermit card, it is an indication that during this time, stress is real. Stress is very real. And as much as we can practice deep breathing, as much as we can take time alone, those are the ways in which we are able to kind of heal our hearts. I'm cracking up because this is literally the card I just pulled yesterday, which means that universe has a very strong message for us. And you saw, like, I shuffled live, I split the deck. The 3 of Swords is classically known as the heartbreak card. And so again, that is the theme today and yesterday of any ways in which we feel heartbroken. And I want to mention, it's not just one sword piercing the heart, we have 3. So this card often comes up for me and other people that I read for when something is some sort of a repeating pattern, whether we've given ourselves or somebody around us too many chances. Maybe we are breaking our own hearts with our thoughts. That's a huge thing, like that's really what's coming through today. Practice healthy ways of coping with anxiety, deep breathing, but also please, please, please don't be your own worst enemy. If you have an internal dialogue and that internal dialogue is creating heartbreak, that is 99% of your problem. And I used to be stuck in a really negative headspace too. And I thought, you know what, just for shits and giggles, why don't I just be nice to myself and think positive for a week? And honestly, I was in such a yucky place that even imagining that made me feel sick. But it was like the sense I needed to try it. And because beating myself up so far, given decades of trying, did not work. I was miserable. So I had to realize I was making myself miserable. And when I practiced being nice and compassionate towards myself, that's the thing, compassion. Like, okay, if I was really upset, I'd be like, okay, Erin, you're really upset. I get it. We tried our best. And anything that we didn't do our best at, we can learn from. You know, I'm life coaching myself, right? And I swear it felt so weird at first, but I didn't even notice when a week went by because it felt so good. The first few days were weird, and then after that, I actually kind of enjoyed it. And I felt safe within my head, and I felt safe within my heart, and that began a huge part of my healing journey. So the Three of Swords was a card that I used to pull for myself all the time. And so it's not just about external circumstances creating heartbreak. It's often about internal energies, environments, perspectives, and repeating thought patterns that are creating heartbreak. So at the bottom of the deck, we have the Four of Cups, emotional exhaustion. If you're feeling emotionally exhausted and doing the same thing every time isn't working, dun, 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 try something new. I love you guys. Thank you for being here. I'm Erin. I'm Queen Bee Tarot, and I will see you tomorrow.